What's up, everybody? It's Greg J. How are you today? Coffee Conversations is on. Yes, indeedy. Today is a great day, but nonetheless, a lot going on in the world. Haiti is in our crosshairs. We're turning our attention to Haiti. Lots of chaos and confusion going on down there. So we've turned our Rolodex to our good friend Monique Clesca. She is a writer, a journalist, a former United Nations representative. And if you remember back when the 43rd president, Jovenel Moise, was assassinated, we had her on to tell us what was going on the island of Haiti. What could we do here in Black America to help and support the chaos that ensued? We also just wanted to have a general understanding, a perspective, if you will, that was counter to what we were seeing in the general news media. She joins us today as we hear just crazy reports, chaos, confusion, rampant gangs just taking over the city, taking over the government, jailbreaks going on. So she joins us this morning live from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Good morning, Monique. You know, Monique, first thing I wanted to do is just really apologize for misspelling your name. And before we get into the subject at hand, I really wanted to just have you explain to us the origins of your name. I do understand that all across the diaspora, as we overthrow the vestiges of colonialism, we want to reclaim our names. We want to find out the root of who we are and how our lineage was amended during slavery times, during colonial times, and now in this present day and time we're, reclaiming our time, if you will. Explain to us about your last name.
Thank you. I've been doing some research. Everybody kind of does research on DNA or plans to do research on DNA or had done research on DNA. So I have been doing some research in my past, and particularly now that I'm and one trying to find out who was the first Clesca who came to Haiti. And because in my DNA, it had that I was 25% Italian. Trying to find out who was the first Clesca who came to Haiti, I went into the different research, and they found the first Clesca who came to Haiti. And when I actually got in touch with somebody in Italy, I got his birth certificate. And he was called Giuseppe Clesca, and he was born in Elba Island at the time that Elba Island was French under Napoleon. And his father was from Hungary and was Clesca with a K. And his father worked in the customs department, the Imperial Customs Department of Napoleon. And his mother was from Carrara, which is in Tuscany. And if you've heard of Carrara marble, which is the best marble in the world, well, the mother was from there. So it is one of my great grandmothers. And he was my great grandfather, who was Clesca with the K. And that's the Clesca part. So that's the story. And I know some of the story from Africa, but I haven't gone as far in terms of my African root as I have in terms of the Clesca root. So this is what I wanted to say.
Now, Monique, we're seeing in our news media here in the United States just chaos and confusion, gangs taking over the streets of Port-au-Prince, taking over large swaths of land in Haiti. What's going on in Haiti?
Wow, I'm laughing to keep from crying. It is pure terror that we are living with the armed gangs going street to street, house to house, building to building, destroying, burning, killing, and that's what's going on. And it has been going on since last Thursday in particular, when that was just in broad daylight. The gangs just took over the streets and they destroyed several police stations. There were 6 policemen who died, among them 2 women. And Saturday, they opened the gates to the main jail of Haiti, which had close to 4,000 prisoners, and there was another jail that was broken into also, and they have not stopped. Now I believe they are looting the port area as we speak, and that's what's going on. You to understand that, you must understand that the gangs have been enabled, some have been created, some have been armed, some have been, empowered by the government in place. And that is what makes it, I guess, what you call a mafia state. So it is difficult to understand how that is, but the state started using them as proxy, and somewhere along the line they became all powerful and decided that they could do things on their own, and created really a crime industry, particularly with the kidnappings. And then now they have decided that they want some political power. So the gangs were aligned in 2 different federations. And now they have, for the circumstances of putting the de facto prime minister out of office, they have united and said that they want the prime minister out of office. And that's what it is. And so it is, they call themselves armed groups, they are. And there is no ideology. And they've been under for really several years now, ever since 2011, when Michel Martelly came in as president, and then there was Jovenel Moïse, who came in as president, who was assassinated. And then there was, after the assassination, the current prime minister took power, and he's been in power for 30 months now. And so we are under a criminal regime. That's basically what it is. But last Thursday, the gangs who control the streets, particularly of the capital city, then just took over in the daytime, with their mask and whatever, and took over the central city, where government ministries are, and shot at the airport, shot at the communication ministry, shot at the palace, shot at hospitals, university, just took over. So that's the latest in terms of ramping up the horror and ramping up the terror, because we are living in a state of terror.
Wow, wow, fascinating stuff. I mean, real terrifying, I suppose. Those who might be watching this, Monique, and they say, okay, well, what about the police? Where's the army? Where's the order in the country? What about that? What is going on with law enforcement in Haiti?
We're asking the same question. We really are asking the same question. The police, for example, in terms of the prison, officers were calling for the police backup. The police didn't come. I remember when I was following Thursday on the radio, the journalist who was doing live, there are a band of 10 who are coming with long machine guns up the street. Where is the police? Then he went into another place. Where is the police? Then would go into another street. There are more. Where is the police? This was a massive armed assault, and the police was nowhere to be found, one. And secondly, some of the police who were in their stations, when they were attacked, they were actually calling for backup, and backup never came. That's how come in one station, 6 policemen were killed. So one has to ask, was there the will for the police to be there? Is it simply a problem of capacity? They don't have enough manpower, they don't have the bandwidth, or is it also a question of they are in with the gangs? Because what makes it even worse is that the gangs had announced that they were going to take over the jail. They had said that. They said that 2 weeks ago. So anyone would know that your contingency plan comes into action. Nothing. The day that they took over the jail, they said it in the morning. So they say they're going to do it, and then they do it, and then the police is there. Nobody knows what is going on. So that is one aspect. The army was disbanded by former President Aristide when he came back, because the army had done 2 coups d'etats against him. So he disbanded it. Now, Jovenel Moïse, when he was in power, the president who was in power from 2017 on, he reconstituted the army. But the army not really legally, so it is not properly done. But still, there are some men and women in the army. They could have been called. They were not called. As a matter of fact, their headquarters got shot at. So not only police stations were shot at, but the headquarters of the army also was shot at. So it really is a massive attack against the population and against the state itself. So these are like strategic infrastructure. They shot at the airport. As a matter of fact, the airport is closed. The airport has been closed now for a week. The airport is closed. So we really ask, why is it that the army did not respond to cries for help? Why is it that the army did not prepare itself since it was announced that they would be doing this? So I don't know. But this is the state that Haiti is in today.
Well, so as we contemplate gangs, even gangs have some sense of order, some sense of process in what they do, even in their criminal enterprises. Are there goals and objectives that the gangs might be wanting to achieve for the people, or are they just wanting chaos and mayhem, anarchy in the land? What are the goals of the gangs in Haiti?
Well, I think there are 2 aspects. The gangs, in terms of what they wanted, it has been kidnapping, it has been gang rapes, it has been massacres, it has been looting, it has been putting fire in people's homes, putting fire in police stations, etc. So it has been a criminal industry. And the last few reports from the UN have mentioned that the gangs have gotten into drug trafficking also, and maybe even organ trafficking, human organs trafficking. So there is that aspect of the criminal activity. Now they have grouped themselves in two networks. They call it the G9 and the GPUP. But lately, there has been, particularly the one called Barbecue, who has said that he has coordinated an alliance of the two networks, and they have decided that they are not going to carry out any criminal activity. Whatever kidnapping victims are in their hands, they're going to release them. Even though the day he said that, they kidnapped 3 nuns. That's where the population has suffered too much from hunger, from lack of health care, etc. And now Ariane must go so that a new government that will reflect the hopes of the people can be in power. So now they have entered with a political agenda. And but while he was saying that they no longer will, they say they are a group, an armed group, but while he was saying all of this, everybody had huge machine guns, M14, M1, etc. All of them except him were masked. He even had like a bulletproof vest. Because he's a former policeman. He was a policeman in an elite corps for 14 years. So now there is a political agenda. Can we take it seriously? He even asked for forgiveness from the population for everything that they have made us suffer. So there is a lot of communication. There is a lot of pretending to take what we are living in consideration. But can you believe them? Can you believe him? Can you trust that? What is the real agenda? We do not know. But what we know is, in a way, we are all victims.
I know that you are a former representative, a writer, a journalist. What about the press? Does the press have power? There's power in the pen, right? Power in journalism. Journalism has changed things all over the world throughout time. History shows that. What about the press? Do they have any power? And what about the UN? Are they stepping in to assist the people of Haiti?
Listen, the gangs for quite a few years, maybe now 2 or 3 years, have controlled about, at first it was like 50% of the capital city, 70%, because about 2 years ago, I could go to the airport, even though we could not go via the road to the south, nor to the north, but we could still go to the airport and take a plane to the north and then drive down, or take a plane to the south. So the UN is pretty much in the same situation. As a matter of fact, the head of the UN security in Haiti was kidnapped about, I think it was about a year ago. Now, he has several cars that follow him and several agents, but still he was kidnapped. And the ministers, government ministers, were kidnapped. So this is, some of it sometimes is we know who he or she is and we kidnap them. Some of them are opportunity. Some of them are a pressure. I think it was last year, early last year, that the terminal where the petrol, the gas that we use for our cars was held by the gangs for 2 weeks. So there was no gas in the country. So they are powerful. They are linked with a powerful networks of politicians. They have a lot of money because they have kidnapped practically everybody that I know knows somebody who's been kidnapped. So there is a huge kidnapping industry. And the state, a lot of policemen are in with the gangs. Sometimes the gangs know before the police what is going on. And so the state is inexistent. And that exactly is what it is. What can the UN do? The UN is there, they observe, they do reports, they are there. There are two branches in the UN. There's the political branch that supports and tries to get an agreement. And then there is the development branch that the UNICEF, UNFPA, WFP for the World Food Program, but their storage units have been looted numerous times. So we are all at the mercy of the gangs and with a government that is in power, but that has done absolutely nothing and that has not shown that it wants to do anything. But worse, with the benediction of the Biden administration and the benediction of the UN, France, Canada, but the Biden administration has been the biggest support of this government that is in power now. You know, we need solidarity, we need help, we need understanding of what is going on, and we need the Afro-American community to stand up for us because we're suffering. We're Black people, we're Afro descendants, we're brothers and sisters, and it is important for the African American community to say what is going on in Haiti and to call on their congressmen and women and on Joe Biden to say, why is it that you're supporting a regime that is killing our brothers and sisters? I think that is something that is extremely important. So I wanted to bring that in.
I heard you talking about the African American community and what we could do. I can go all the way back to our good friend, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, when she came into Haiti and I guess you could say rescued President Aristide during a time of turmoil in Haiti. And it was a big deal, right? Members of the Legislative Black Caucus, the Congressional Black Caucus, stood in solidarity with Congresswoman Waters as she marshaled her influence on Capitol Hill to get President Aristide out of Haiti during a time that was very tenuous for him in the country. Can you connect the dots for us from that time to now? Contrast what happened.
Well, at the time, there was a lot of solidarity, and Aristide was really a master. He is a master in terms of communication and had built a lot of the alliances. And I must say that some of the alliances that he had built are still functioning, are still supporting Haiti. Recently, I was in Chicago with Operation Push, and we were able to meet with the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and he gave us his support. So there is a network there of support and of solidarity with Haiti. But Aristide at the time was president, so he had the power of the presidency with that network. For example, the Montana Accord that I'm part of, we are not in power. So we don't have the power of that presidency to go after the network. So it is basically through organizations like the Institute of Black World with Ron Daniels. It is with certain congressmen and certain congresswomen who are from the struggle then and who are still in terms of know the history of Haiti and support us. And we have done some inroads in terms of advocacy. So basically, this is what is going on. We have the support of some of the congressmen and congresswomen, but perhaps not at the level that it was at that time. But it is a network that we are feeding into. It is a network that sustains us in a certain manner, but not in the manner that it should, in order to put pressure on the Biden administration to let go of these policies of supporting killers, of supporting a criminal regime, of supporting people who are oppressing their people. There is a great call for social justice in Haiti through all the demonstrations that have been happened over the last few years. Healthcare, there is a call for professional training, for education, for infrastructure. People, there are about 4 million people who are going to bed hungry in Haiti tonight. So there is a huge humanitarian crisis next to the poverty and the misery that is kind of the backdrop of all that is going on, because our leaders have not been investing in that. They've been taking the money for themselves. So there is massive corruption. So when you have that, rather than investing the money in a health center or in a school, they are taking the money and putting in their bank accounts. So it is a criminal state. It is a corrupt state. And so I really invite people to read a little bit more to understand the how it's all interlinked, and how it's almost kind of the state of Haiti against the nation and the population of Haiti. So it is difficult to understand, but that's what it is. You have leadership that is not providing for us. They're not providing for our security. They're not providing for our health care, for our education, for nothing. So we are left there with the human rights not being fulfilled. And there is great inequality, great social injustice.
Monique, I'm almost feeling like, maybe America doesn't care about this situation in Haiti with the history of instability. It feels like sometimes that maybe the United States doesn't care. There's a strong, in these days and time, feeling of anti-Blackness all across the country. The old ways of thoughts are beginning to bubble up to the surface again. What do you think? Does America care? And, if Donald Trump is elected, would a President Donald Trump care about what's happening in Haiti?
Well, we know that Donald Trump would not care. Donald Trump, as a matter of fact, when he was in power, had said Haiti and quite a few countries in Africa, they were shithole countries, excuse the expression. So we know, and we don't need to think about it nor to guess. We know he's very clear. He has said what he thought. So that is that. But the problem right now, we do have Biden, and I think it's an interesting thing. But Biden must be called to ask. We Haitians in the United States number about 1.5 million Haitians and Haitian American, about 1.5 million. Now we know that elections throughout the United States have been decided by about thousands of votes, not even by 100,000s. So if Haitians do something as a block, it is going to be extremely difficult for Biden to win. We know that Trump will be worse, but it is a pressure tactic that some Haitian Americans who are in power in the US or who are in civil society are actually pushing the idea that some pressure could be put to the on the Biden administration so that it reverses its course. I'm sorry, I was so angry that my necklace came off. So sorry about that. Yes. Mm-hmm. So that is the situation that we are living in. We know the risk of Trump, but a lot of civil society and politicians in the United States are saying, well, wait a minute, Biden, there is a risk. It's kind of the protest vote that is going on now in Palestine, but except that it's being done in the primary. The risk is if we go to elections that way. So it is a block. It is not a homogeneous block, but it is a block, and it is playing around with those ideas.
So let me ask you this. Did Biden endorse the president, the current administration in Haiti? After the assassination, which side politically did President Biden endorse?
Well, there is a WhatsApp that's going around, a video that's going around on social media in Haiti when Biden was a senator, and he had said Haiti could go under the sea and he would not care. And so a lot of it is circulating for a reason. It is circulating because people are saying, is he still thinking in the same manner? And I think it's important to put that in mind. Now, the president who was assassinated was elected. We may have problems with the way the election was done. It was only about 18% of the electorate, whereas for Aristide, it was close to 90% of the electorate. So that is another problem, that Haitians no longer trust the democratic system of you must go vote. So that is an issue, but it is a separate issue. What I wanted to say was that at least he was elected. So, but can you imagine a president being assassinated in his bedroom and not one shot was fired by his security apparatus? And practically every Haitian, there were about 40 Haitians who were arrested in Haiti. They were released in the jailbreak that happened Saturday. There were, I think, 8 to 10 Colombians, mercenaries, who were also arrested. They did not step out of the jail. They stayed in because I imagine that if they had gone out, the population, anyone who had met them would probably kill them. So they stayed in. So you have about 40 people, police chief, police head of the palace police, head of presidential security, head of the unit, all of them. They are now out in the streets. So the president, though, was elected. So one could understand, one could say, of course, the Biden administration would work with them, would support them. That's fine. But the prime minister that he had, there is no parliament, there is no Congress in Haiti, because there has been no election in Haiti for the last 7 to 8 years.
Now I'm trying to visualize the jailbreaks. Were these just like city jails, or were they penitentiaries that the gangs broke into?
It happened on Saturday. There were 2 jailbreaks. It happened on Saturday evening, but they were trying to break into it. They had announced that they were going to break into it. During the day, they announced it again. And so they were trying to break into it. And there was some resistance from some of the jail guards. And at a certain point, because I heard on social media, one of the jail guards who said that if he didn't leave, found a way to leave and shed his uniform, he would have been killed. And he said he left. And I think some of the prisoners, there was an interview, and they said that some of the doors were open. So I would assume that at a certain point, some guards, were they in with the gangs or not in with the gangs, left some of the doors open, because we understand that there were close to 3,700 people in the jail. Only 100 people left. It was stayed. So you have about 3,500 people who left. And among them, you have rapists, you have kidnappers, you have murderers, you have all of that. Some of them presumed, some of them convicted, and you have among them the 40 Haitians who were accused and indicted for the murder of the president. So it happened, and by the time all night this was going on, it was a sleepless night for me and for most Haitians. And there was a lot of shooting. I didn't hear shooting where I was, but people were calling me and saying that they were shooting, and they were sharing some videos in the dark of people just walking out, or with flashlights or with telephone lights showing. And so this is what happened. And the other jail is a few kilometers away from Port-au-Prince, and that was broken into also. And I understand that over 1,000 prisoners were let go.
Wow, wow, wow. So with all of this going on, I wanted to ask you, Monique, how are you? Are you safe? How's your family? Is everybody good? You safe?
Physically, I am okay. My family is abroad, children, one in the States, one in France, and most of the family is abroad. But my friends are here. This is my country. This is where I live. And so it is very difficult, and it is traumatizing. Excuse me. What happened last Thursday it traumatized me. I was following on the radio, this reporter, they're shooting. It's horror. It's horrifying. Everybody's worried. I have received calls and messages from people who I have not heard from for 5 years, 10 years. Everyone is worried. Everyone is concerned, not only with how are you, Monique? Today, I heard from a journalist who had interviewed me 2 years ago. And she said, I've been thinking about you, Monique. Please stay safe. There is somebody, I went to a film festival 10 years ago, and that person contacted me. Monique, we're thinking of you. How are you, please? I have somebody I went to a writing workshop with in San Francisco. Yesterday, he wrote, listen, my darling, what's happening? Where are you? Tell me you're safe. So, there is I'm very touched by this, and I'm very emotional about it. And, these are gestures of solidarity that I do not take lightly. And it's important, and it keeps me boosted, and it's important. And the children worry. My sister was like, oh, when are you? As a matter of fact, I was supposed to go to the United States this week because we're supposed to go and talk to some congressmen in a couple of weeks. But the airport is closed. The airport is closed. So what can I do? And I try to stay safe. I try not to go out. So we have the strategy to kind of stay safe. Fortunately, I live in a kind of semi-rural area where I can get vegetables from the area because I'm surrounded by people who have their little farms and who sell some of their vegetables. So, at least I'm in that situation, and I'm very happy to at least be living outside of that. But everybody is suffering. My friends downtown, everybody. So it is very difficult, and there is looting going on. A lot of looting. And they're looting, this morning, they were looting the Port Authority. So if they're looting the Port Authority, the goods that are supposed to come through, that are supposed to go into the supermarkets, that are supposed to go in other places, are not going. And in terms of gas, very soon there may be no gas to be able to go anywhere, because I understand the last boat that brought gas in Haiti came in 2 weeks ago. So it is an existential situation.
Yes.
So that's what it is. That's what we're living on. So any gesture of solidarity is really welcome. And I really thank you for asking how I am, how is my family. So that's what it is. That's what we're living with. But we're resisting.
Yeah,
And even every day,
can,
you know, when I go in my garden and that is a stress reliever, to me, that's an act of resistance to say that there is life, you know, and it is important.
You know, we talked about the generational change of activism, generational change in political power. It's a new day now, from the days that we're talking about to now. What would you say to the young activists, the activists of the youth? What would you want to tell them about Haiti?
You know, I think there is a data set that's important to know about Haiti. Two-thirds of the country is under 24, which means like 65% of Haitians are under 24. So there, I'm saying this in terms of the data set because you can't just say youth. And there are things that are important there. One of them is the fact that there are a lot of children. When the massive attack happened last Thursday, there were children in school. And around 11 noon, children were getting out of school. So there were on social media lots of things which children ducking, children going back into school, sliding on the floor, trying to hide from bullets, and in the streets also. So you have that. You also have the trauma. What do you do with, I'm traumatized. And imagine the children in terms of the trauma that they will carry with them for years and years in terms of what is going on. And so we will need to deal with some of that in terms of make sure that the children talk, the children are able to express themselves, to say what it is that they live, what it is that they felt. So you have a generation there that is totally traumatized. They are not able to go to school, or they're going to school while there is shooting, etc. And then you have another aspect, which I believe is important. It is the aspect of development. When you have a number of that number of the population that is young, in order to guarantee peace and security and development and democracy, you must provide them with health care. And in terms of healthcare, for example, before all of this, you had about 50% of Haitians who had access to healthcare. Now there is practically maybe 20% who have access. People are dying. You can't take them to the hospitals. Hospitals are closing because they're shooting at the hospitals, or they're kidnapping the doctors, so hospitals are closing. So in terms of healthcare, you must provide them with education. So that means you need to have massive investments in education. You have also vocational training. All of the young people who are now in the gangs, you must provide something for them that is attractive, so they don't go towards the M1 or the M14 machine gun. So you must provide for them. So there are, I think when we talk of youth, I wanted to kind of deconstruct in terms of youth, the idea of the numbers, the idea of they are the future, but they are also the present, the idea of the trauma, the idea of what it is, the kind of policies that one must have to make sure that you go towards the next Haiti with youth who are able and who are educated.
Pastor Kelvin Sauls is on with us. He's listening by way of YouTube, and he wants to know, we've done so many things together in the community, in activism, and I know that he's very passionate about what's happening in Haiti, and he wants to know, what do we as African Americans need to do to return Haiti's sovereignty to the people? I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but could you expound on that a little bit more? What can Black folk in America do to preserve and restore the sovereignty of Haiti?
I think in terms of support, what is really needed is for Black Americans, Afro-Americans, to realize that the social justice agenda is not an agenda only for the United States. It really is a global agenda. And it is linked also to our history of slavery and the history of colonialism. So to get to where it is that we want to go, that solidarity has to be there. Now, in terms of the Biden administration, what needs to be is, the democracy functions fairly well in the United States, except when you have the January 6th type of events. So it is a question of really making sure that the congressman, your congresswoman, your senator knows that, listen, please help Haiti. Please support the people of Haiti. And we have an accord. We have the Montana Accord. You can mention the Montana Accord that proposes a roadmap. And even if there is change, we still need that support, that solidarity going forward, because the needs in Haiti are such that we will need all hands on deck, and we will need all of the support that we need from the African American community. And these are our brothers and sisters. The same way that I marched, I am a Howard University graduate, so I went through that mold. And so we need all the support and solidarity that we need. We need to activate our networks to get things going. And we just, a Haitian, please call them, give them a call and tell them, listen, sister, listen, brother, And we need to tell the Biden administration, well, now the airport is closed, but before the airport was closed, they were sending Haitians back on planes every day, migrants that are coming, while they're telling Americans, don't go to Haiti, it is unsafe. But they're filling the planes with migrants and sending them. But now the airport has been closed for a week, so we are not in that situation.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much for your time today, Monique, and we hope that you will stay safe. We have our prayers for your safety in this crucial time, and just know that we're here for you whenever you want to come back and use our platform to speak to the people about what's going on, about how you need our activism, our action, our advocacy, and just know that we are with you in whatever you need to have happen in the nation of Haiti. We get one side of the news in general, news media, the Western news media, as they say, but we go straight to the source, and you're there, you're on the ground, you're of Haiti, you're from Haiti, and you're speaking to us even now live from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. We deeply appreciate your time, and we want you to always consider us as a friend and come on board and sip coffee with us and talk about what's going on. Give us the information of what's going on in Haiti. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Really, thank you. Thank you for the solidarity, and thank you for giving me the space. And I look forward to speaking to you again.
You know, you can always get Coffee Conversations with Greg J on our Facebook page, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. On YouTube, please like and subscribe, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. It's a playlist on my personal YouTube page. So just go on, type in Coffee Conversations with Greg J. We are also repurposing the audio for audio podcasts, and you can download that wherever you get your favorite podcast. Just go Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, Google, Amazon, Apple, just wherever you get your favorite podcast. Type in Coffee Conversations with Greg J, and you'll be linked up right there. And subscribe to that as well. Whew, man, Haiti, with so much going on in front of us right now, we want to include in our thoughts and prayers the nation of Haiti. Those are our brothers and sisters down there. So we want to reach out and embrace them and send them vibes of love, understanding, peace. All right, y'all. Always remember, love one another, love one another, love one another. Peace and blessings.